Hey there guys, it's Sam bringing you a brand new video. Today, what we'll be looking at is how many premium matches you need to play on average to afford a tier 10 each month. I hear often from guys that they don't have the credits required to purchase the high tier tanks. Sometimes I'm in that very same boat. Now, by nature of the kind of video I'm putting out today, a lot of it's going to be narration. There's a ton of numbers, all of which I'll be reading to you to help make sure we're on the same page. Also, the text on the screen, most of the time I will be reading as well. If this is a problem for you and you don't like narration, that's fine. You can watch it on mute, but for learning purposes, I do recommend you keep the audio on. Now, also, if you don't like numbers, this is not a video for you. Got to get that out up front. For everyone else who wants to learn a little bit, wants to have credits for tier 10, wants to hang out, hey, join me. We'll get started. Have a good time. Now, 2017 goals. For most of us, we have some things kicking around in the back of our head. Something like forgetting these two ugly mugs. This is not only true for Americans, but frankly for people worldwide want to forget that this election season happened. Maybe we want to lose a little weight. Getting slim and trim is always nice. Or perhaps we want a budget, which is a bit of what this video is about. And lastly, maybe we want to boost that win rate into a beautiful arc into the sky. Now, if we wanted to buy that tier 10 that I talked about, what if we played 4 premium matches per day at 20,000 silver? Now, 20,000 is an average income for tier 8 premiums. In 31 days, we'll have 2.48 million silver. Now, that's not enough. It's not even half of what we need. So, we can't buy a tier 10. This gentleman here, amazing red hair, amazing beard, he wants to know, what if he played 8 premium games? Would he then have the bank that he wants? Well, he certainly would have some. 20,000 silver at 8 premium matches per day. In 31 days, we'll have 4.96 million. Okay, now, what if we played 12? In 31 days, you'll have 7.44 million. Ah, perfect. So what I'm saying is the sweet spot is 12 matches a day? Not exactly. As it shows here, we're over the target, but only in a vacuum. What if you played other tanks during this month? What if they're tier 10s, which Wargaming has designed to lose money on average? How many premium matches do you have to play then? What's key here about the screen, guys, is that just as the title shows, one credit size does not fit all. The U100 loses a massive amount per game, whereas the Yagi 100 really doesn't. Now, there's a couple factors for that, some of which are the players gravitating towards these tanks, its shots fired, its usage of premium. But for our intents and purposes, that doesn't particularly matter. Just know that there's a huge spread. And so I went through and I manually did the math on all the tier 10s and what they lost. Average silver cost was 17,251. Now, throughout the rest of the video, I try to color code these costs. So incomes will be green, costs will be red. So 20,000 over 17,251 gives you 1.159. And this is, of course, your income divided by your costs. So for every premium game, you're going to get 116% of the loss of your cost matches. Now, if that wording sounds weird, that's okay. We're going to dig into it more here in a minute. Or rephrased, you can play up to 1.59 times cost matches for every one premium game, and you'll always have money in the kitty. This is a little bit easier to understand, 1.59 times cost matches, and if I was you, I would simply say 1.16. But for doing the math precisely, we're using 1.59. This makes the math surprisingly simple, believe it or not, when it comes to making money during CW, tournaments, or any other regular cost. Take your income, divide it by your cost, times that by premium games. That'll give you how many cost matches you can play and still break even. Really simple. Now, not everyone here likes math. Even if you're watching the video, you may not like math. Shucks, I don't even like math that much. So does this formula, which feels vaguely like we're doing Algebra 1 again, work if your costs are greater than income? Yes, it absolutely does. 20,000 divided by 35,000 for cost times 5 premium games equals 2.85 cost matches. Perfect. Oh, for anyone who missed that, you're playing much less, many less cost matches than you are premium games, okay? Because your costs are greater than your income. It's like saying I worked for 5 days and I can only party for 2 because my party days cost more per day than working. Hopefully that made sense. Now, one more wrinkle. What if you play a training match before competing in clan strongholds? Now, the costs on this are pretty minor. If you're doing more shooting for your clan, you're using rations, this kind of thing, the costs are going to go up, and you're going to have to do the math on your own here. But I went with a very baseline soldier of the line approach. Now, 4,400 a shell for tier 10. At 4 shots, 17,600. Repairs are flat 10k. This adds about 27,600 silver. Do this 20 times each month and lose 552,000. Now, this means you're not playing CW or Strongholds Prep 100% of the time, and 20 times out of 30 days seems pretty reasonable to me. Now, if you remember when we were talking about grinding out tier 10s, the cost of a tier 10 plus a few training matches is 6,552,000 flat. This translates into 328 premium matches to afford an N tier and clan duties. So not in a vacuum anymore. Now, how does this compare to average? If we could do a little time lapse here, it would be perfect, because meanwhile, while doing all this, I tracked the number of users likely to be on North America via Watt Labs, total number of battles tier 8 through 10, 7,000,000.1, and I dug through all the really weird translations of Watt News pages, trying to find the average games played for players. And when I was doing this, it reminded me, and I got to the end of a situation I had the other day. I was trying to take a picture for a friend, and I couldn't figure out how to make the flash on my phone work, and the room was pretty dark. And so I worked this for 3 or 4 minutes. And then I stopped, thought about the process, and realized, wow, I can just turn on a light. I did, picture took fine, it was a-okay. Now, this was a bit like that, and I'll show you why. Average doesn't matter right here. What matters is how it relates to you. This is not unlike other areas of life. Is this a lot of games? A few? Well, it's definitely a lot for me, but it may, for you guys, not be that much. Tell me in the comments. Now, I want to thank everybody for staying with me through this video. It wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be, and it actually took me 2 evenings or 2.5 to put together. The math gave me more trouble than it should have, but hey, it's been a while since I was in school. I hope it all made sense to you, and for sure, I wanted to leave us on a light note. So a happy thank you and a pretty funny comic. If you want some laughs, actually, Google World of Tanks comics. There's some good stuff on there. I think we can all commiserate with this guy trying to get his Top Gun, and then he bounces off an artillery. All right, thanks guys for watching. Once again, this is Sam with Watt Tutors. I hope you had a good time. It was certainly enlightening for me to do all the numbers on this, and I hope it was for you too. Peace, happy tanking.